He laughed when he saw me behind the hospital desk. "Still working here," he said. Then he leaned closer and asked, "What was your kid's name again? Is he even alive?" I felt my fingers tighten around the counter. But before I could answer, a calm voice spoke behind me. "Mom, everything okay?" And in that moment, the man who abandoned us lost every ounce of power he thought he had. Before I tell you how a man who walked away from his own child was quietly destroyed without a single argument, drop where you're watching from in the comments. And if you believe abandoning family is the ultimate act of cowardice, subscribe, because this story proves that real revenge doesn't scream. Sometimes, it simply walks into the room wearing a white coat. 24 years ago, inside a delivery room in Houston, my life split into two halves. Before silence, and after it, the doctor spoke gently, too gently. "Your son will need lifelong care." I remember gripping my husband Ryan's hand. "We'll figure it out," I whispered. He didn't answer. His hand slowly slipped from mine. "I can't do this, Claire." No raised voice. No anger. Just distance. Like someone closing a door between us forever. And then he left. Not just the room. Or life. Our son was named Lucas. And from that moment, life stopped being about dreams. It became about endurance. The kind that hides behind forced smiles. I worked mornings at a grocery store. Nights at the hospital reception desk. Between those shifts lived therapy sessions, medical bills, school meetings, exhaustion that settled into my bones. Doctors warned. He may never speak clearly. Lucas said his first full sentence at age 7. Doctors warned. He may struggle to live independently. He learned to dress himself at 10. Every milestone felt like winning a war no one else saw. But the hardest moments weren't medical. They were emotional. When Lucas asked at age 9, "Why doesn't Dad visit?" I told him, "He lives far away." The truth felt too sharp to hand to a child. Ryan never called, never visited, never asked, until the night fate dragged him back into my world. It was almost midnight. The hospital lobby hummed with quiet fatigue. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Then the glass doors slid open. And there he was, Ryan, older, grayer, but still carrying that same careless confidence. He stopped at my desk. "Natal, Claire." I didn't look up. "How can I help you, sir?" He chuckled. "Wow, still here." That laugh. It hit like a memory I'd buried. He leaned closer. "That kid, what was his name?" I stayed silent. He smirked. "Lucas, right?" Then came the sentence. "Is he even alive?" My chest tightened. Years rushed back in waves. Unpaid therapy bills. Late night crying. Teachers saying Lucas might not keep up. Strangers offering pity disguised as kindness. And now this man, mocking the child he abandoned. I opened my mouth. But before I spoke, a voice came from behind me. "Mom." Steady. Certain. Turned. And there was Lucas, walking toward us in a doctor's coat. Stethoscope resting against his chest. Confident. Grounded. Unshaken. Ryan froze. "Who is that?" Lucas stopped beside me. Smiled softly. Then extended his hand. "Dr. Lucas Bennett. Neurology department." Ryan didn't take it. "You're a doctor." Lucas gave a small shrug. Took some time. Then he turned to me. "Ready to head home?" My throat tightened. He nodded. Ryan suddenly blurted, "I'm your father." Lucas looked at him. Not angry. Not emotional. Just curious. Like flipping through an old, irrelevant file. "Oh," he said. "I have a consult waiting." And he walked away. Ryan turned to me. "Why didn't you tell me?" I met his eyes for the first time in decades. When did you ever ask? On the drive home, the city lights blurred past us. Lucas finally spoke. He was really my dad. Technically. He nodded slowly. You never gave up. I stared out the window. I didn't have time to. He hesitated. When I almost quit medical school. His voice softened. I kept thinking, if you didn't quit on me, how could I quit on myself? And in that moment, the exhaustion of 24 years felt worth it. A few days later, security mentioned Ryan had returned. Again and again, asking to see Lucas. Lucas refused. No confrontation. No anger. Just a short message. My life is complete. One evening, Ryan waited in the lobby. Lucas walked past him. Ryan stepped forward. I want a relationship. Lucas stopped, looked at him, and said calmly, You had one. Silence. You walked away from it. Then he walked on. No yelling. No rage. Just truth. And Ryan stood there. Smaller than I'd ever seen him. Not defeated by anger, but erased by irrelevance. The child he abandoned, now saved lives. The boy he mocked, now commanded respect. The burden he escaped, became a miracle he would never be part of. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's raising a child alone, watching him succeed, and realizing the person who left must now live knowing they missed the miracle. Last night, Lucas told me he bought a house. He asked me to move in, so I could finally rest. And for the first time in 24 years, peace didn't feel temporary. It felt earned. If this story moved you, like this video, and tell me in the comments, do you believe karma always comes back? And subscribe, because sometimes the strongest victories are the quiet ones.